Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? How we doing, everybody?
What up, brother?
What's happening? Can you hear me all right? We're in the new studio this morning, so just want to make sure I'm coming in clear.
You sound like a jazz DJ.
Good morning, everybody. It's the Hot 101 Jazz late at night. I don't know about you, but I am fired up after yesterday. I mean, wow. I am just so full of love, and Chase keeps walking past my camera. It's all right, Chase. Man, I'm still vibrating high. Like I was telling my wife this morning at 4:50, because me and Brock shot a 5:30 a.m. podcast. Talk about relentless, folks. Brock is pushing me to be more and more relentless. But I was telling my wife, and she's like, "Did you sleep? You're super charged up. Like, what did you take this morning?" And I'm like, "What I took was amazing nuggets from every single speaker. And more importantly, so many great conversations from the attendees in the rooms, right? Cullen, who was just, talking about, I sound like about jazz, had a great conversation with him last night. Always a pleasure to have a great conversation with D, some local agents here in Nashville, a lot of folks out of Charlotte, and I am just supercharged. My heart is completely full. How about you, Brock? How are you feeling about everything with the Nashville Success Summit yesterday?
Besides my voice, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a little challenging, and I appreciate doing the podcast this morning. Wendy goes to me when you said Brock is pushing me to be relentless. Wendy was packing her bags, and she goes, "Be careful, Jim. Just be careful, Jim." Yeah, no, it was beyond. You have visions inside your head. You think about it, and what I've learned with visions, it's a vision. And what I absorbed, the vision doesn't come with audio sometimes. And I need to add that because, well, I couldn't even add that. And the reason why is because I don't know what God's putting inside of other people, because the amazing conversations I had with people was not part of the vision. It was part of the audio. And the audio was not being put inside my head. And because I think God has to fill us up with certain things that we need to hear, like the conversations I had with Chad Free, with Cullen, with David, with so many people, Rosario, and I'm just kind of scrolling through Justine that was there that I had a conversation with. I had somebody and I really apologize, my voice, and Jim, I'm gonna let you take this over as soon as I finish this.
Brock, it is okay. We watched this happen with you losing your voice, so do not apologize, man. What it actually tells me is how much you care to still be here this morning, still be on, and still pour your heart out. So, man, I just want to say thank you, Brock, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, brother. No, I appreciate it. I'll leave you with this last story, and then I'll let you take it over. This girl, I had no idea who she was, and never met her, didn't know anything about her. She comes up to me and she says, "I just want you to know, my name is Amy." And no, Amber. I'm sorry, Amber. And I just got into real estate in the last 3 months. And I didn't know this type of stuff existed because I just was told on all the heartache and the challenges about real estate and everything else. And this really changes my life because it just wasn't about real estate. It was about some personal stuff that I'm going through. And this really helped me. And it really blew my mind. And I just was so thankful because just like anything, as you know, Jim, we need to hear things too, to fill us up, to continue to do this. And as much as people filled me up, and you and Wendy last night just being on the stage, it's funny too. Wendy and I were talking about it. That's the first time her and I have been on stage ever together at the same time. And so that was a pretty cool moment for us. But that's what pushed me to do our next event in New Orleans. And so I'm super excited about that. And I'll let you talk more about it as I have to get packed up, but I'll be listening to you, brother. But I just want to say thank you for all the help, the energy, the pushing, putting tables together, doing all that stuff. So thank you, man, for everything.
Of course, brother. Of course. Hey, as we know, and as you probably heard throughout the conference, is you can't do this alone, right? And it takes a team. It takes an army. And I think what you're so good at, Brock, is being part of everybody's army, right? I throw a lot of events. I throw big conferences all the way down to intimate, 8-person dinners. And, it doesn't matter how many people are in the room when it comes to how you pour into everybody. And I just want to say thank you for that. It really is special. Some of the things that you folks probably haven't heard is the conversations in the background that happen, that have to take place, right? And Brock just, all the minute little details, him showing up, being relentless, going 100 miles an hour, it is magnificent because I work with a lot of folks who do events. I work with a lot of folks who have massive brands, and I don't see that passion, right, from everybody. And to see you pour your heart out, to see you lose your voice on the opening welcome, and then continue to show up, continue to pour in, continue to take and navigate all these amazing conversations with everybody throughout the 2.5 days. It just really is special, and it shows how big your heart is and how much you care about this family, right? And I use the word family because this conference felt different. What's going to happen in New Orleans is going to feel different for every attendee that shows up. And I'm just so excited, and I'm just so grateful to call you a friend. So in Brock fashion, can you put a 5 in the chat if you had an amazing experience at the Nashville Success Summit these last 2.5 days? I want to see that chat blow up. I want to see 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I want to see you pour it all out, because guess what, folks? This is hard, and Brock needs to be filled up too. Brock needs to be filled up too. So I'm going to actually ask you to do something else as well. Can you, in Brock fashion, can you put a 10 in the chart, in the chat, so we can fill our friend Brock up, so we can re-energize him? Because if this impacted you, let's impact him. 10s in the chat. Let's go. 10s in the chat. Come on. Chad Free. Let's go. Fran, Rosario, Manuel. I love it. I love it. Let's go. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I'm so blessed and grateful to have the opportunity to meet so many of you. As you know, I do this show once a month. And I'm just so grateful to be here today, especially after the conference. And for me, what filled me up, and I'll stop talking about me here in a second because I want to talk about you, is I got to meet so many amazing people in person, right? We get to interact online and digitally. And I really do believe that live events change lives. And I felt that my whole heart was full yesterday because I got the opportunity to meet some of you and most of you in person. And I just think it's such a magnificent opportunity. So if you're on the show today and you didn't have the opportunity to come to Nashville, I do urge you, grab your ticket to New Orleans, because just talking with Brock late last night and early this morning when we shot a podcast, this guy's already planning, all right? He's already sharing his vision with me. He's already pouring in and starting to navigate the road to continue to level up, to continue to go to the next level for the conference that's coming to New Orleans. So I believe we sold 30 tickets so far. And like he said, it is going to be capped around 70. So if you didn't grab your ticket, I would highly advise you to grab it now, because we haven't even told anybody else besides the folks in the room until right now. Okay. And I'm looking at the private chat here. All right, we're over 30 tickets. We're over 30 tickets this morning. So I invite you to join us if you missed out. I invite you to keep the momentum going, right? We talked a lot the other day about being relentless. Brock talked a lot about leveling up. He talked a lot about getting things on your calendar, scheduling, and that doesn't fall short for you pouring into yourself, right? We often have these fast-paced world we live in. We've got all these amazing things going on, and we forget to serve our own self. We forget to serve our own heart. So I do invite you to pour back into yourself and come to New Orleans and show up and be with this amazing family, because I guarantee you, you will not regret it. So what I would like to do is just kind of hit on a couple points today, some nuggets, some things that really impacted me. And then I would actually love for some of you to share some nuggets. So if you were touched by something a speaker said, if your heart was full, if you got a piece of information, a nugget, if you had some of these micro miracle moments happen to you throughout the last 2.5 days, I'd love for you to start to think about that, because I do want to make this show about you. And I do believe that sharing how we were impacted can also impact the others on the show today, right? Sharing is caring. And we know, because we heard it from almost every speaker, that you can't do this stuff alone. So sharing how you perceived some of this information, sharing how you received some of this information is going to be extremely important to give back to the group, to give back to the show today and our true family here on the Mindset and Motivational Show. All right. Y'all, can we just talk about Brian Galky for a second? Like, how many of you were absolutely blown away with the facial decoding? Like, is that not the coolest? I call it an unfair advantage, right? Because that's a skill set that you can literally do before you even meet someone. You can go on their LinkedIn, you can go on their Instagram, you can go on their Facebook, and you can start to decode their facial features to understand how they show up, how they receive information, how they navigate and work through business and life. Like, how wild is it that the left side of your face is your personal side and the right side of your face is your business side? And I think it's so important that we really navigate and understand that sometimes we're having a personal conversation, and then sometimes we're having a business conversation, right? And to decipher through that and to read people's face on how they make those decisions, woo, I put that one in the back pocket. Actually, I put that one in the front pocket because I'm going to be pulling those out. And I also grabbed the flashcards. Like, if you didn't grab those flashcards and you need to continue to practice this, I highly advise you to check out subtleskills.com and grab a pair of those because they've changed my life, and I bought another pair to gift a friend the other day. I also want to talk about something that was really important that Gary Ashton said on the panel. Now, if you missed this, Gary is doing almost $1 billion in sales, okay? I think he said he had 160 agents on his team. He's on all the billboards, but that's not the nugget that I took away, okay? The nugget that I took away from Gary, running a massive team, running a massive organization, bringing in all that revenue, helping hundreds and hundreds of families every single year navigate their dream of home ownership, was he said that he always took that risk. He always dove in to the new marketing strategy or the new technology. And I really took that home because, we're in such a new world today as we sit here and we navigate our lives with AI, with technology, with new SaaS products, with new marketing platforms, right? And we know AI is changing the world, but we're not so sure about some of these new ways to use AI. And that also brings me into Drew Thompson, right? Head coach of Real Brokerage was here pouring into us about AI. Like, it still blows me away how Brock continues to navigate these absolutely amazing people and bringing them in to this family and into this world so they can pour into you, so they can impact and share these little nuggets on how you can navigate and continue to grow and grow and grow. Like, if you loved Brian, Gary, and Drew, please drop a 7 in the chat, right? Because the things that they said really pushed me and really impacted me just to continue to walk that path, continue to take that risk, and continue to look at technology and AI and these different ways to give us that unfair advantage. Let's talk about Chad Free, y'all. Chad Free. Every time that man I've seen speak on stage, like, I don't know if it's that voice. I don't know if it's those sexy dance moves, Chad. But like, man, I could just feel into your heart, man. You really care. You really care about this family, this group. Like, every time you talk, brother, I get goosebumps, man. I'm getting goosebumps just saying your name right now, Chad. Like, if you could see, if I dial this camera in, like, wow. So thank you so much, Chad, for just always showing up for this group, getting on the show every week, keeping that consistency, and really giving us that perspective on life. And some of the stories that you shared was just absolutely huge for me. And my heart was just so filled hearing you kind of talk through some of the things that you're working on, how you're helping people. And also too, folks, like, people talk a lot about referrals. People talk a lot about, if you just connect me with someone, I'll take care of you. If you just bring people into my world, we'll hook you up. What Chad says is so true, raw, real, and honest. Like, that man is paying out so many people who bring people they love and care for into his world so he can help them with their finances, help them with strategy, help them create wealth in so many different ways. So if you have anybody that you need those services, please connect with Chad, because he's not only going to take care of them, he's going to take care of you. And I know that to be true. Rebecca, y'all. How about Rebecca? Like, she is just always pouring into people. Like, that energy that Rebecca brings around confidence, around how to navigate it, it just gives me such an amazing new perspective. Having that confidence, how to break down confidence, how to show up as yourself, how to be you. Like, the definition of confidence, I think that most people perceive, and the definition that Rebecca shared with us, I just see such a difference in that because of how she pours her heart out, how she really shows up for folks. And I don't know about you, but whenever she gets that stage, whenever she's at these events, it's not just what she does on stage, but it's what she does in those micro conversations with our attendees. Like, I talked to so many people the last couple days that were just so grateful of the side convos. Heck, I even went into the green room and she's pouring into other speakers. So not only is she showing up for you who attended, but she's also pouring in to the speakers backstage and having those micro conversations. It's just so amazing to see her in her element, to see her showing up in such a wholesome way. And I'm just so grateful and blessed to call her a friend. And I know so many of you are too, because last night at the little happy hour, even during breakfast the day before, Rebecca's name just kept coming up. People were so excited just to be around her and feel into that energy. Like, we have such an amazing family here. And what Brock's done and how he's poured in and how he's attracted and brought in so many of these amazing speakers and so many of you, right? And I want to take a second, I want to take a beat here to really, really talk about this. I talk to these speakers, right? We work with them. We talk offline. We talk about the shows, after the shows, before the shows. We talk about the conference. We talk about the speeches. We talk about the perspective that they're going to bring. But these folks, when we talk, it's not about them as a speaker. It's not about me as a speaker. The magic that happens with these group of speakers that Brock brings together, that he aligns with, the conversations are about you. The conversations are about how we can impact you. Hey, Jim, what do you think of this? Do you think this will be well received? Do you think people really need this? Like, these are the conversations that you don't get to see. But everything is positioned perfectly around the experience that we want you folks to have. And I've been in a lot of green rooms. I've been in the pre-event meetings. I've been in the hallways. I've been on the Zooms where all the speakers come together. And what we have here and the conversations that are occurring as we lead up to these big events every 6 months, as we lead up to doing these shows every other day, well, every day, but certain speakers coming in every other day or on Mondays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Fridays, whatever it is, I just have to tell you, guys and gals, it's different. It's different around here in this family. And again, I'm just so grateful, right? I talked about human connection. I talked about how love brings opportunities. These opportunities are flowing for you. They're flowing for the speakers because this family, it's all about connection. It's all about love. And again, I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough how grateful I am and how honored I am and how blessed I am to just be part of this, right? So if you haven't grabbed your ticket, if you couldn't be here for the last 2.5 days, you definitely do not want to miss what we have coming up here in 6 months in New Orleans. Now, talking about love, one of the things that really hit home for me was what Robert Hartline said. And I've struggled with this over the years and some of the projects, some of the collaborations, some of the things that I've built that haven't worked out, right? I'm human too, right? I don't swing the bat and hit a home run every time. I strike out often, right? But what pushes you to become you and to continue to grow is when you strike out, do you get back up when it's your turn in the lineup to take another swing, to take another at bat? You do. So for you folks here, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're in insurance, whether you're in, real estate, whether you're a speaker, whether you're growing another business in another industry, if you strike out, get back up. You've got another at bat. You didn't die, right? Plan, prepare, hit the batting cages, get with your coach, watch the film, talk about what you didn't, hit a home, talk about why you missed it. Maybe that elbow dropped a little bit. You came under that last pitch where you really wanted to hit it straight on, up and out, right? It takes that debrief. It takes those opportunities to truly continue to get back up. But what Robert talked about, he talked about falling in love with your business again, right? Robert grew his business to $100 million and then exited it. And if you can do that and fall out of love with the business, but continue to fall back in love with it, continue to get new perspective around it. Guys and gals, real estate has been hard the last year, right? Can we put a 1 in the chat if real estate has been hard? If you've seen a difference over the years from 2021 to 2022 to 2023 and where we sit today. So I encourage you to fall back in love with real estate. And I encourage you to write that down after today's call. How can you change your perception? How can you change how you look through the lens of your career? How can you fall back in love with servicing others and allowing them to live the American dream, allowing them to find a place, a home, an investment property that serves their family and helps them continue to navigate this world and bring in new revenue? How can you show up so they can show up for them and their family by helping and assisting and finding them that home that they've always wished, wanted, and dreamed about? How about Kendra Cooke, y'all? Kendra Cooke, she was cooking the other day. She was absolutely cooking. That CEO mindset, I mean, the systems you need, how to manage your finances, you know, not to outsource those things, to keep those close to you because they matter most, how to not burn out, right? Like when she shared that story about how she was sneaking away at night and continuing to work and how that affected her and her family, like for someone at her level to be that vulnerable, to be that honest and share those nuggets with you, that blew my mind. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you for bringing that level of honesty, real, raw vulnerability to this family here that Brock's built and put together. All right. We have so many other speakers that I wanted to dive into, but out of respect for your time and to keep true what I said earlier, I want to hear from you. So Jay or Brock, because I'm in the studio, this is the first time I'm doing a live in the studio and I don't really know how to pull people up and get them to speak here with us. Could someone help me pull some people up? And I want to hear what you learned, some nuggets that you took away, because I believe what you share will be helpful for those as well.
Good morning.
Fred, good morning. Let's hear what you took away, brother.
One of the most important thing that I took away is the fact that regardless of where you are coming from in the state, there was the love of family in the room all the time. And like Robert said, remember, guys, no matter what it is, no matter how angry you are at someone, at the end of the conversation, always take time to say, I love you. Because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And believe me, I've learned so much from Justine, you know, from Miss Cooke and everyone else, Jim, telling me about the characteristic of love, characteristic of human connection. That was wonderful. People, please, whenever you have a minute, even if you don't know the person walking next to you, say, I love you. Thank you.
Fred, I got full goosebumps, man. I got full goosebumps when you said that, brother. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that and those takeaways. I appreciate you. I love you, man. I love you. I really enjoyed our conversation.
I love you too, brother. Thank you.
All right. Who else wants to share? Let's give us a nugget.
I'll talk about one thing that I loved. One of the big sayings was money changes hands when problems are solved. I thought that was awesome. And it reminded me of Joe's story about sitting there with ants crawling on him and, you know, what he got out of being good and nice and helpful. And he got a lot out of that. So I took that a lot.
We're here to solve problems, folks. And we need money so we can use it as a tool to continue to help people. So thank you so much, Jill. That was such a great nugget to share. I appreciate you. All right, who's next? Who's got some juicy nuggets for us?
Hey,
I'll
Jim,
jump in,
this
Jim.
is Michele. Go ahead.
You sure, Michele? You can go.
Okay. Well, I'm a little bit of a visionary. I think outside the box and I see things. And about a year ago, I saw that many people that wanted to write a book kept saying, I want to write a book, but I don't know how. And so I had the vision of, well, start small, have a chapter. And we pushed this out before the end of last year. And I had 5 people who were really interested in doing this, but it kind of stopped from there. It was such a synergy at this event that not only do I haven't confirmed 20 people, but there are 20 names of at least 20 people, could be up to 25 people that not only when I went up to them and say, I want you to be in this book because it's going to be another level for Brock. It's a motivational mindset book of people who are relentless in what their vision is. And it could be a children's story. It could be about real estate. It could be about finances. And not only did this happen, Jim, you did something last night, and this is all part of the being in the connections that we're in. You even talked to Cullen and invited Cullen to write a story. So I'm excited. We may end up having a couple versions of this book, a couple volumes. So thank you.
It's a team effort, and we all need to show up and show out so we can continue to make that impact. Thank you for sharing that, Michele. Go ahead, David. I know you had something to share.
Yeah, and it's so hard to pick just one, right? Yeah, there was just so many amazing moments, so many what I call God wink moments. But I want to throw it over to my buddy Chad Free. We were sitting there at the same table before he was supposed to speak. And he just looked over me and he said, David, I got a weird question for you. And I said, what's that? And he said, do you have a penny? Well, I'm like, nobody carries cash anymore, right? I mean, who's got a penny? So I'm like, I tell you what, let me run out to my car and see what I've got. And I found a nice shiny penny out there. And Chad incorporated into his talk about, you're so concentrated on the small thing, the big thing is right within your reach, but you can't see it. And in that moment, and I don't want to get super spiritual here, but in that moment, I felt this phrase come to my mind that said, how long are you going to stay in Egypt? Now, those of you who know the story, the children of Israel, went out of they had the promised land promised to them, but then they even complained about the journey. We should have just never left Egypt. And so in that moment, I saw a lot of people letting go of their Egypt, being willing and ready to step into love, to step into opportunity, to step into vulnerability. And the way I see it, this is the pathway to the promised land. And I'm just super, super blessed to have been with all of you guys this week.
Thank you, David. Thank you. We're blessed to be with you, man. And I enjoyed our time together and how we kind of snuck away and had a nice one-on-one. And I'm grateful for you, man. Grateful for your friendship over the years. And so grateful that we went to that event one day and met each other, right? Same with Brock. Real events. They're all real. Live events change lives. And you've definitely impacted me.
Get in the room.
And helped me change my life. Get in the room. I love it. All right, we got time for one more. I know I'm over time, but as you know, I'm a talker. All right, who's going to wrap this one up with the last nugget before we wrap up the day and send everybody off on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday?
Okay, you got me crossing halfway, but I wanted to say that it was a beautiful, beautiful summit. It was my first one, not my last one. It was awesome. Thank you, Brock, for giving me the opportunity to speak on mindset, listings, approach to 2026. And I thought the synergy was just absolutely wonderful in the room. The speakers were awesome. Brock pulled off what I think was probably the best summit of 2026. And there's a lot of nuggets there that people will remember, not just next week or the week after, but the entire year. So do the work is my advice as your speaker from the event, because if you don't do the work, then all of those moments, all of those nuggets that we all learned in that room and we all spoke about won't be put to good use. And that room generated over $1 million worth of business for realtors if you didn't hear the right things and if you didn't take in the right words to put it to action. So put it to action is my word of the day. Put it to action is my phrase.
Put it to action. Joe, your speech was absolutely amazing, man. I'm so grateful that you got to pour into these attendees. And it was such an honor to hear you and share your story. And I'm so grateful for you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
I'm going to leave you with this before we leave. The next 48 hours are the most important hours of your week. And the reason why is because top performers don't take a break after a summit. Don't take a break after they got all this amazing information. You need to carry this energy through, okay? Get your notebook out. Start taking action. As Brock says, put stuff on your calendar, okay? If you have an hour, if you have 15 minutes today, put it on your calendar. Reflect on the summit. Take your top 2. A lot of people say 3. I'm going to push you to take your top 2 things that you learned and implement them immediately. Because here's the thing. You invested in yourself. You spent money. You may have traveled. You left your loved ones. It feels good being at a conference. It feels good being at a summit. But what feels even better for the sacrifice that you made, both financially, energy, and time, is when you actually take these nuggets, when you actually take these things and you implement them. So I want to push you to get some stuff on your calendar. The next 48 hours, start to implement. Who do you need to know? Who do you need to follow up with? Who do you need to connect with? What strategies are you going to implement immediately? This is where the magic happens. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Brock, for the opportunity to run the recap show today. Every month, you see me on Wednesday, once a month. If you need to connect, if you want to have a chat, you want to talk human connection, feel free to reach out on Instagram, Jim Morris Human Connection. Feel free to text me. I put my personal cell phone up on screen. If you don't have it, feel free to reach out to anybody else in the group that does. I want to hear from you. I want to help you, because here's the thing, folks. I love you all, and you are my family. That's all I got. Have a wonderful rest of your week, wonderful rest of your day. I'll see y'all soon in New Orleans.
I love you guys.
Cheers.
I love you, Jim. Take care.